What's going on, you guys? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another video. So today's video, I want to talk about alternate jerseys, and I want to talk about reverse retros coming back as alternate jerseys, and if this is something you guys are okay with. I know probably we're not going to see any more reverse retros come back as alternates. We've seen it 2 times now, and we're also going to talk about that in this video, as the Minnesota Wild alternate jersey did get leaked. Before we get into it though, as always, if you guys are new to the channel, it would mean a lot if you guys subscribed and liked the video if you enjoyed. I am going to say this now, you guys, I do plan on being on Twisted Wrister Hockey's YouTube channel. That's an absolute tongue twister for me. I've had this take like 5 times. I just can't say it for some reason. Plan on being on Twisted Wrister. Tomorrow I do plan on being Twisted Wrister's. I do plan on being on Twister, but I do plan on being on his live stream Sunday at 2 o'clock. I think it's 2 o'clock Central or maybe 2 o'clock Pacific. 2 o'clock Pacific. I just double checked. 2 o'clock Pacific. I will be on his channel, and we're going to talk about favorite jerseys from Adidas era. We're taking a look at Adidas jerseys that have come out this year, since this is their last year. Funny thing about this is I actually had scheduled a video of my own favorite Adidas jerseys, so I had that in the works. I plan on working on it a little bit and editing it a little bit and maybe adding some other categories to make it a little bit different. So if you guys do tune into that live stream when I upload the video, it's going to be a little bit different, and it will have some different takes in some other categories. I will be using some of the same categories, so you might see a little bit of recycledness, but I do plan on putting some other ones like underrated, overrated, and jerseys that maybe weren't appreciated, and just stuff like that. Maybe I'll even do like favorites and least favorites in the video as well, because I think that could be really fun. So like favorite home jersey, least favorite, and just kind of go through some of the best and potentially worst of Adidas. So you guys go over and check out that live stream on Sunday. I will be over there. I will have a link in the top of the description to that, hopefully, if there is a link available. Now let's get into today's video. So I will talk about this, as this is something I've known about, and I feel like this is something that a lot of people have known about, and that is the Minnesota Wild bringing back the reverse retro 2 jersey as a full-time alternate. They're bringing back this green and yellow jersey. Honestly, I think it's a beautiful jersey, but they are bringing this back as an alternate jersey. I will have the photo on the screen here. It's essentially the exact same jersey, and I think it looks really nice. Obviously, I like the reverse retro. It's one I wish I could have got. Now I don't even have to panic about that because it's going to come out as an alternate. We will talk about that whole thing later. But the only difference with this jersey is this. You guys can see the shoulder patch. And I'm going to be honest, I think the shoulder patch is awesome. I really do like the shoulder patch. What I wonder is if it's on one or both shoulders. What I wonder here is if this shoulder patch is on one or both shoulders. We see the photo of it on one, but I wonder if they're deciding to go with that method of putting it only on one shoulder, if it's going to be on both. From the first photo I showed you guys can see here, it is really hard to tell if it's on both shoulders. You can barely even tell it's on that one shoulder there. So it's really hard to tell if it's on both. So I do wonder, but yeah, it's essentially the exact same jersey, just a little bit different. Really, the only little bit different is the shoulder patch. So I do want to talk about reverse retro 2s coming back as alternate jerseys. I believe this is something I talked about when the Calgary Flames announced theirs. If you guys haven't seen that, they did the Blasty jersey. The only difference is they added the flame in the sleeve. Essentially the exact same jersey as a reverse retro, just only one difference. Pretty much the same thing that the Minnesota Wild are doing, it's just making one change. Now, there are a couple things I want to talk about. Obviously, we did talk about the jersey. I like the jersey. I think the jersey's cool. I'm happy with it. I am fine with it kind of coming back. There's some aspects about it that I'm not a big fan of, which we will touch on. My biggest thing, and you guys might know this if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, I'm a big advocate of new jerseys, seeing new things, just seeing something new. Even if it doesn't turn out great, new in my opinion is always good. And in my opinion, most of the time it's always better. Obviously, you can have retro jerseys that are fire and super nice, and for them to come back as like one-time things, I think that's cool. And although this kind of is a new jersey because it was only used in the reverse retro set, it's still not a new jersey because we've already seen it now. Now it's already been out. It's been a year since it's been out, and now we're going to see it again. I just think it's a little bit lackluster. I would have loved to see an actual new kind of design, something we haven't seen before. I really liked the Minnesota Wild leaks that came out, some of the jerseys they used, they had a black alternate. I think both of them were black alternates. If I can find the photos, I will throw them up on the screen here. But I thought these were pretty cool. I thought they had a lot of potential. I wonder how close they were to going with this and what made them decide to go away from this and go with the reverse retro instead. Maybe it was the feedback on the reverse retro kind of saw them being like, okay, like we can make some money off this. Let's bring this back full time. I really do wonder what it was, because I would have loved to see a different jersey, and even a black one I think could be fire for them. I think these look good. I think they have mad potential. So to me, it's not that the jersey's not nice, because it is nice, don't get me wrong, but I also think it is a little bit disappointing that we're not getting something new, as I just love new things. Also, the thing about new jerseys is I feel like Adidas jerseys have come out with a ton of jerseys that when they first come out, people are like, what is that? Like, people are like, I don't like this jersey, definitely a terrible jersey, what a flop from Adidas. And then months later, people are like, you know what? That jersey's kind of fire. It's grown on me a bit. And Adidas, I think, has done that a lot with jersey designs. And I feel like they haven't really made any that I look at and I'm like, okay, like, that's bad. They've made a few, definitely, like Detroit's Reverse Retro 2 or Reverse Retro 1, but they haven't made a ton of that, to be honest. Next up, now this might not affect a lot of people, but I think it affects people who collect jerseys and love collecting like rare jerseys, and it's the rarity of the reverse retro. Sure, the reverse retro 2, the original jersey of this one, doesn't have the shoulder patch, but now their alternate jersey is going to have the shoulder patch. That's the only difference, and honestly, I think I'd rather the jersey with the shoulder patch, making the alternate jersey, in my opinion, better than the reverse retro 2. I think the shoulder patch on that jersey makes it nicer than it is without it. That's just my opinion. Some people might have a different opinion, but that's mine. So I think that having this alternate takes away the rarity and the specialty of having that reverse retro. That was one of my favorite things about reverse retros, and why I wanted so many of them, is because once they're gone, you can't get them again unless somebody's willing to sell one, which I thought just made it so cool and made me want them so much more. Like, it made me buy my favorite teams right away. I got the Blues and Canucks instantly, and then I got my favorite ones, like both Arizonas. I got those instantly, Washington, so on. It just made you want to get them instantly and go out and try to find them and snag them before anyone else did. And I thought it was really fun. It made collecting really fun. And when they bring stuff back like this, it kind of ruins the original collectible in the reverse retro. That's just my opinion, though. Some people might not care about that. They might still think, oh, it's cool because I still have the reverse retro. Even though there is a lookalike, they still have the OG reverse retro too. So I mean, it still is cool in that aspect. I'm just a little bit disappointed. But all in all, though, other than that, and other than the like rarity and all of that, and not seeing something new, it is a very beautiful jersey. It is very nice. It is one I will be getting. I am happy about this because I really did want a Minnesota Wild jersey, and I think their home's nice, but it's not really something I was jumping out to get. And I thought I'm not a big fan of their away jersey. I think this thing, I wanted the reverse retro too, so this thing is definitely going to be one I get. I'm very excited to snag this and add this to the collection and finally get a Minnesota Wild jersey in the collection. So once these are available, I do plan on getting one for sure. But there you guys have it. Let me know your guys' opinion. Again, this video we were talking about the Minnesota Wild alternate jersey, but also talking about reverse retros coming back as alternates and getting your opinion. Leave some feedback down below. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.